Naam, sadakta mtazamaji na kusabahi popote ulipo, natumai wikendi yako inaendelea vyema. Karibu tena katika Jumamosi ya kwanza ya mwezi wa Disemba. Karibu katika makao makuu ya Sports Sugu. Kumbuka kwamba hapa ndipo tunashughulikia masuala ambayo yanahusu mwanadada moja kwa moja. Kumbuka hapa ndipo makao ya wanadada, ndilo jukwaa lako. Kwa hiyo zungumza nasi katika mitandao za kijamii ya GBS TV Africa, na pia zangu za kijamii ya Kadili Aita Facebook, Kadili Aita Twitter, Kadili _Aita Instagram. Tutazungumza kimichezo. Kwa hiyo leo nitachukua fursa hii kumkaribisha Kiarie. Imekuwa ni wiki moja ama mbili kabla hatujajumuika tena.
Naam, nashukuru sana Kadili. Mtu si inaonekana mweupe kidogo. Sijui mmoja Nairobi kufanyia kutenda memba.
Ndio hiyo. Tunashukuru Mungu anafanya mambo yake.
Naona tabasamu ya Hustler Fans. Sijui ushabonyeza?
Jana tulikuwa papa kwa hapa. Wakisema wakitaja zile nambari nilikuwa moja kwa moja kwa simu.
Nashukuru na tunatumai pia tutanufaika, itasaidia vijana, itasaidia biashara.
Ndio hiyo.
Yote tisa. A warm welcome to a Saturday afternoon on Sports Sugu, a dedicated sports show only for women in sports. Na tunasema this is the only media house in Kenya that has 100% women in sports show. We are lucky. Leo tunamaliza season 2, 26 episodes done.
Na awamu ya mwisho.
Season 2.
Season 2.
Tulianza safari 29th of April. Tukatembea. Naona sasa tunaona pia tukipanuka tunakuwa.
Ndio hiyo. Na pia katika safari hiyo kuna masuala ambayo tumeshughulikia, kuna michezo mbalimbali tumeshughulikia ambayo wanadada wanahusika nazo. Tukashughulikia chukuboli, tukaja kabadi,
tukaenda pia yoga. Maana pia tukasema wanawake wajawazito ambao pia na wana spoti.
Naam.
Ni nini wakati wanapata ujauzito na bado wako katika spoti? What to do?
Wanafaa kufanya
vipi?
Hata baada ya kujifungua wanafaa kufanya nini?
Tukakuwa pia na sexual violence in sports.
Ndio hiyo.
Donda sugu, lakini pia tulikuwa na bahati tukasabaiana na Wangu Kanja. Yeye mwenyewe alikuwa victim. Tukatembea pia, nakumbuka tulitembea na kabadi ama koko.
Naam, tulipata fursa ya kushuhudia mchezo huo moja kwa moja, japo kwa kiduchu tu hizo siku. Na leo ikiwa ni wa siku 3. Unakumbuka kwamba kuna mambo yanaendelea kule Qatar.
Naam.
Doha. Leo raundi ya muondoano ndio inaanza rasmi. Na katika raundi hii ya muondoano yenye imeshaanza, sisi hapa leo tunashughulikia mchezo mwingine tofauti ambao kama ufahamu ama mchezo wa netball. Kwa hiyo kuna mtu ambaye ni msi yake, ukitaja tu jina lake utaona netball.
Kwa hivyo Kadeli unaniambia tukitaja jina kama Obama. Tunajua Obama alikuwa nani? Kwa hivyo nasema unajua tukitaja jina Jaramogi.
Naam.
Tunapelekwa.
Ukitaja jina Kiarie unajua kwamba yule jamaa yuko pale GBS anashughulikia masuala ya dada.
Tukitaja Kadeli pale Baragoi, pale Machola, Turkana, tunajua ndio kijana wao Barobaro. Kwa hivyo leo our dear guests, our social media channels ya GBS TV, find us on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, on YouTube. My personal social media channels, Kiarie Mwangi on LinkedIn, Kiarie Mwangi on Twitter, and our SMS number 21144. Again, 21144. Endelea kuwasiliana nasi, and we remind you, we are on season 2, episode 26. God has been faithful, God has guided us, and most importantly, leo tuko na veteran. We cannot use any other word Kadeli. Hatutumie jina lingine. Tunite hata legend itoshi. Tuseme tu veteran. Naona tabasamu kumbali.
Karibu.
Bila kupoteza wakati, we are introducing for the first time on Kenyan media. Na hii nasema pia kwa kujivuna kidogo na kiburi. Watu wengi wamesikia jina Lilian Anupi. it is a brand name imesikika sana in the 80s.
Jina pekee linazungumza.
Jina pekee unaweza kupatia loan kwa bank. Jina tu unaingia kwa bank unasema guarantor milioni na nupi unapata loan.
Ati leo umeenda pale Federation ama unataja tu jina lake lile na nupi. Ambia karibu. Unapitishwa. Bila kupoteza wakati. Welcome and feel nyumbani. Tuko salama.
I sincerely take this opportunity to appreciate GBS, Mr. Kiaria and company for having invited me to speak about netball. Kwa Kiswahili inaitwa mpira wa pete.
Mpira wa
pete.
Oh, Allah.
Yeah, I'm living in Nupi from Bunyore, Rwanda. I'm from a family of sports, and even I got married in a family of sports. So sports is in my blood.
Kwa hiyo sporti ni wewe.
Ni mimi. While I was in school, I studied in Mumboa Primary. I was there standard 1 up to 4, and I went to Bunyore Girls Boarding School from 5 to from 4. And in our family, we were all sportsmen and women. Even my father was a footballer. He was known as Harrison Makanga. Before he became a reverend, he was Reverend Harrison Makanga, Angana, Adala. Then the sports name was Kidikomiwa.
Yeah.
The sports. Football. Yeah.
Jina la utani.
Yeah. My brothers and sisters were sportsmen and women. They played football. We did athletics. I did athletics, shot put, discus, long jump, and javelin. And then I did volleyball and netball. While we were in Kenya Post and Telecommunication, we were the ones who started basketball in Kenya Post and Telecommunication. We also started handball in Kenya Post and Telecommunication with the former secretary of NOC, FK Paul. Yeah.
Wow.
So we played, and in telecom or Kenya Post and Telecommunication before telecom, we used to go for Kekoso games. Kekoso games. And when a team gets late, you are fined or you are asked why the team is late. So the late Neni, who was our MD, decided that you choose one event.
Choose one.
He didn't want to hear that we were late to start netball because the other players were playing basketball or handball or volleyball. So now we were squeezed to decide on one. So for me now I decided which one do I go for. So I chose netball.
You chose netball.
Wow.
And from then,
so I played netball for Kenya Post and Telecommunication, then Telecom and Kenya.
So tukisema netball, which years?
I started playing for Kenya Post and Telecommunication 1976.
1976. Kwa hiyo Kiaria huko umezaliwa?
Mimi nilikuwa kijana mdogo miaka 5-6 hivi, kijana mdogo.
So we represented the country. Those days we used to play East Africa, East and Central Africa, East and Central Southern Africa. So Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, we were all the time 1, 2, 3. These other countries were not making. These southern, western countries. That was netball.
But umesema, within you had played other volleyball, discus.
I played, and basketball and even.
And basketball?
Yeah, even handball.
And handball?
Yeah. I played.
Wow.
But our MD decided that we choose one. So now when you had to choose one, so I chose netball.
You chose netball.
Kabla tuende break, naona we have got a multi-talented veteran right in front of us. Sasa mimi najidai hapa sasa ati mimi nataka kucheza hii, sijui nataka kujifunza hii, sijui nini. Already here we have got 10 sports in one. Tupeleke break.
Kwa hiyo ndio huyo Lilian Anupi. Kumbuka ametoka katika familia za wana spoti. Mpaka sasa hivi jina lake linazungumzo, Lilian Anupi. Ukitaja netball au una lazima utasikia jina lake Lilian Anupi, na tuko hapa leo kusikiza na safari yake imekuwa vipi hadi sasa na masuala mengine mengi. Kwa hiyo tutapumua kidogo, kisha tutarejea tutazama na Lilian Anupi.
Everywhere, GBS.
Ndio sisi hawa tena mtazamaji, karibu katika awamu ya pili kwenye kipindi hichi cha Sport Sugu. Azidi kuzungumza nasi katika mitandao za kijamii, na haswa leo na kuuliza swali, je, ni wachezaji wapi wa kitambo ama wa enzi hizo ambao nafahamu katika ulingo wa netball ama mpira wa pete? Tunaye mmoja hapa anaitwa Lilian Anupi ambaye tunazungumza naye hapa. Kwa hiyo unaweza tutumia arafa katika 21144 ama utuzungumzie katika mitandao za kijamii @GBSTV Africa. Mjomba, na sisi hawa ya pili.
Kwanza ni shukrani za dhati. Hata tukuketi next na Lilian, nduki kama legend. Kwanza lazima kwanza natulia kiasi.
Kabisa.
Na kwanza tena ni kushukuru, manake nilikuwa kijana mdogo. Nilimsikia jina, nilikuwa nikitembea na mzee wangu marehemu Richard Mwangi na mzee rafiki yake sana marehemu pia Hezekiah Wepukulu. Hawa wazee wawili ndio siku hizo walikuwa waandishi wa magazeti.
Naam.
Na hao ndio walikuwa kikava events za kina Lilian. Sasa nilikuwa nikiona jina lake kwa gazeti. Kata siya hawa wazee wawili.
Lilian yupo gazetini.
Lilian yupo gazetini.
Kwa hiyo leo Lilian, karibu tena. Mwanzo tukisonga tueleze tu safari yake kwenye netball sasa.
Safari ya Lilian.
Asante kwenye host GBS kwa mambo ya netball, mchezo wa pete. Nilianza nikiwa primary, secondary. Nikimaliza nikakuja Nairobi kwa British Tutorial College na nikachukua kosi ya secretarial, nikajoin Kenya Post and Telecommunication. Tukawa tunacheza huko. Tuli represent Kenya, tuliwakilisha Kenya kwa michezo za East Africa, East and Central Africa, East and Central Southern Africa. We used to play and no club could beat Kenya Post and Telecommunication. Tulikuwa tunaitwa weka wake uchomeke. Weka wake uchomeke.
Weka wake uchomeke.
We used only to fight against Kenya prisons. Yeah. If they beat us with 1 goal. And if we beat them with 1 goal. Then came teams like Kenya Breweries, Steamer. It was called Steamer, but that's Kenya Power and Lightning. So we started having a tight competition. And in those days, we had so many teams. The corporations, institutions, companies loved sports. And you could get in a tournament, we have 90 teams, and we have to play on a weekend. We had so many fields, so we start with 15 minutes, 15 minutes. But that by Sunday, we start going to 10, 7, and we end up playing 5 for us to finish the tournament.
So basically,
we had, basically, netball was loved, and we had teams. The only thing we lacked was the national team being sponsored.
The national
team. But during the clubs, we had the clubs, the organizations used to love netball. And they used to scout players from the secondary schools. The last tournament in the secondary schools, the last term, you will find so many corporations have sent their coaches to go and scout for good players, both football, netball, basketball, volleyball, and so on. So we picked them. And you saw Kenya Post and Telecommunication, our pay was not compared to Kenya Airways, KPA, and these others. Kenya Railway and Kenya Post, ours was low. So what we did, our MD being a very kind person who loves netball, knew his salary cannot be compared to those. So for us to fight for good players to come to Kenya Post and Telecommunication, when we scouted the girls and the boys and whatever in various disciplines, the last term we pay school fees for them. We give them fare. When you close, come to Nairobi. That's how we won all these players. You see, so many players, even footballers, they used to work with Kenya Post and Telecommunication. That's how we won them. So we played netball. And netball, let me tell you, I'm going to surprise you. You know, netball is an older game than football in Kenya.
In Kenya?
Yeah, netball. And netball started in Manchester, in England, in YMCAs. So YMCAs, when they used to, they want to relax, they started playing netball. Then the men were being defeated by ladies.
Men defeated by ladies.
Yeah.
Both men and women
they used to play
netball
netball together. Then the men will lose to women. So now they came up and said, now we don't want to be playing with the ladies winning. So that's why they started basketball. So netball produced basketball.
So netball produced
basketball.
Wow. Men and women used to play pamoja
netball.
Lakini sasa men being men wakishindwa sana wakatengeneza yao. They called it basketball.
Yeah, basketball. So now netball was left for ladies
and basketball
for men.
Na ndio pia nakumbuka kule shule ya msingi kulikuwa na mpira fulani ulikuwa unaitwa sukusuku. Sukusuku, I think kuna ring pale kwa post, sindio? Kwa hiyo I think hiyo ndio a netball sasa.
Yeah, they both have rings. Basketball and netball, they both have rings, but different types of rings. Ours is just a ring with a goalpost, and the basketball has a ring and has a board.
Oh yes. Sa hiyo tuliita sukusuku tukiwa primary school.
So without board is the netball. With board is basketball. Okay. So sasa tulikuwa pale pa.
So when we used to play East, Central and Southern Africa, and most of the time you find that Kenya is number 1, Uganda number 2, Tanzania number 3. Anyway, Tanzania just remained number 3. So the competition was between Kenya and Uganda. So then these other teams in Zimbabwe, Namibia, Botswana, they never won. They never won. South Africa. So South Africa pulled out. So he remained with these others. Then South Africa again was banned from playing sports. Yeah. So when South Africa came back, 1995, they started telling them, you are losing all the time, you are losing all the time, you never bring a trophy to Central or South Africa. So they formed their own federation. Called, ours was called East Africa, and theirs was called Kosana.
That is
Central
Kosana. That is, you see, the way we have Kosafa, they have Kosafa for football, now there was Kosana for netball. Because Kosafa is is the block, is the Southern African block. Malawi, Zambia, Zimbabwe, South Africa. Hizo za chini.
Yeah.
Kosana. Then we have Sekafa in Eastern Central and Kosafa.
Yeah.
Now they have Kosana for netball.
Yeah.
Okay.
So now we remained just 3 countries. Now we decided that Zanzibar should be playing as a country so that we have 4.
Okay.
Yeah. And then Zambia used to feel like they miss us so much. So there are times they used to come and play with us until they were warned. They used to come silent to play with us.
Okay.
So they were warned. No, they used to come to our competitions, but still they lost. So now that time is when netball was netball.
Which year was that when netball was netball? Miaka gani? Which year? Which years are those you're talking
From
about?
1976 up to 1989. 1999.
1989.
We were champs all the time. So netball came down when they started phasing out, let's say, the corporations like Kenya Airways, they decided not to play.
Okay.
Then it came like Kenya Post retrenchment, Cargo joining KPA, then KPA also having a problem, Kenya Railways, and so on.
Okay.
Now it remained breweries and East Africa, Kenya Power and Lightning also. But Posta we are playing silently.
Okay.
Yeah, on our own. Sometimes we go and beg them to sponsor us. We go and play some tournaments, but it was not much.
Okay.
But when it came to national team, we had a problem of sponsorship. Even the ministry.
From, that is, because here you have said, kutoka 1976 hadi 1999, netball ilikuwa hapa. It was hapa. Mlikuwa mking'ara.
Hata wakina marehemu Daleito huko. Sponsor tournament for East Africa. Yes.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
So that is netball ilikuwa.
Netball was so competitive.
So unasema sasa tumeanza kushuka 1999 when the retrenchment, ile Telecom imeenda kando, Posta imeenda kando, Cargo, KQ, they have privatized nini
mpaka sasa hivi.
So
sasa hizi is the worst. It's worse. We have only prisons and the ulinzi who are still very active.
So siku hiyo, just so that Ekadeli, manake so Ekadeli ameshikwa na butwa because tunamtajia miaka ambayo ako amezaliwa.
So have you remembered 1996? 97 is when we broke East Africa na Kosana. You have written that.
So this is 1996, That's okay.
That's when they started problems, when we were in Zimbabwe.
Okay.
So,
then in 1977,
1995, South Africa wakaunda nini federation.
No, South Africa. Kosana is, you know what?
Kosana means countries that Central, Western and Southern Africa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
East Africa tukabaki peke yetu.
The way Sekafa and Kosafa.
Sasa those countries, being countries with money, they started now going to other countries like Australia, New Zealand to train. That's why now they have overturned us. Now they are at the top, we are down. No, but now
but from 1976
they could not see us. They could not see us.
Allow me to ask you, because hii unasema from 1976 to 1999 when netball was netball, that was at club level.
Club level and national level.
And so ilikuwa both
club and national
level. So national team ya netball bado in the 90s ilikuwa job.
Yes.
Okay.
It was at the top, but we were being supported by the corporations and not even the government.
So the government. So government input ilikuwa zero. Okay.
So that's why we.
That's mlikuwa.
Yeah, the top.
Because
now we could select, let's say, players from Kenya Post, prisons, breweries, steamer, and then we write to the managing director, can you kindly, humbly sponsor your players, support them in the national team. Yeah. So we used to get help from there.
Sasa tusonge mbele.
The ministry was just for football and athletics.
Football.
Even in netball, even in volleyball, they just started recently.
So anything football na athletics ndio ilikuwa serikali ilikuwa inaangazia.
Serikali inaangazia hiyo sana.
But netball,
si tukienda tunapewa hiyo tracksuit. Hii ya football tuna share. Na football wakienda kucheza sasa sisi tunatumia za vilabu.
So netball haikuwa katika macho ya serikali
hamna.
Hata baadaye,
lakini ametaja kitu kizuri kwamba hizo miaka kulikuwa mpaka na ma-agents wanakwenda katika shule za shule.
Tuna scout players. Tuna employ.
Nilikuwa mmoja
wa team manager.
Manake wewe
nilikuwa player. I started as to be a coach player, coach team manager.
So wewe pia ukwenda mashule, you are part of the team, you are part of the recruitment. Na the rumor has it ati ni rumor sio mtaani that Lila na Lupi ulichora watu wengi kazi poster.
Sana ni kweli, simekwambia kuna kati tulipewa forms kwenda nani naenda kutupelekea hizo forms Gor Mahia and FC. Peleka. Yes bwana Molo kina nani.
Kuna tetesi kutoka Valdez ule boxer. Valdez ule tulikuwa na 2 weeks ago wakati wa posta na ile recruitment na ile vijana kwa tafuta hatungekosa kusikia jina lile na Lupi katika hizo kabisa.
Lile na Lupi alikuwa
kwa tunaenda tunangangana so that kikosi timu ikipika kocha ashinde atapeleka nani?
Atachagua nani? But then Lile na Lupi tuende kwa decline. Manake I know our viewer. Manake when you're preparing for this show, tuliuliza watu about netball. Nobody seems to know hata penye netball inachezwa leo.
Thank you. And it's a surprise. I would say it's unfortunate. Netball, we don't have a field of our own from the government institutions. We don't have. We usually play in university grounds or most of the time, let me tell you, we used to play at Railway Club. And when we got to Mombasa, we used to play at KPS Sports Club. When we got to these other counties, those days we used to call them provinces. We just tell somebody who is there to look for us a nice place we can play. Even sometimes we go and find a place is pathetic. The ground is pathetic. We just imagine you brought people's children to play in such a field. So even up to now, we don't have a field of our own. But we are lucky that recently, Mheshimiwa MCA Mbatia. Mbatia wa Kariobangi South. Kariobangi South Uhuru. Ametupatia kiwanja hapo Uhuru.
Kiwanja sasa.
Kiwanja hapo. Ile tunaweza sema at least sasa itaisha. Anatengeza itaisha, tutasema at least netball tuko na kiwanja. Otherwise hata tukienda Nyayo we use the handball court. And the handballers we will not want to see us mark that field with chalk or anything because the tape when it's hot it comes up. So you have to mark with the chalk. They don't want. But let me tell you, recently when the members of parliament were training there, okay, they have been training there since, but the ones who have come now are saying, now we're getting confused because some of them have never played netball. So when you mark dots so that you don't spoil the handball court, they don't see. So we have been brought a very good manager at Nyayo. We just went and talked to her and told her, ladies, we are suffering in netball, fraternity. We have no field of our own, Kasarani or Nyayo or City Stadium, where. So we keep on playing in other people's courts. When it comes to marking of the field, we have a problem. Now you are a lady. Can you stand in for... Although netball these days is played by men, but it's a game.
It's a ladies' game.
That it was a ladies' game now, but we have men from... Men started a long time ago, but in Kenya we started in 2000.
The year 2000?
Year 2000. She said, what do you need? We need you to authorize that field we mark permanent. She said, what do you require? Said, one that field to be marked permanent. She said, okay, I'll call somebody. She just called somebody and said, come here. I want that handball court to have 3 markings. That is a basket. They play there for 3.
3 by 3.
Yeah, 3 by 3. So it is marked halfway, then handball, now netball has been marked.
So you have, so as you wait for
we have that one. But let me tell you, maybe even these stadiums, we don't play free. But I don't know how it will sound. We pay to play.
Yes.
Yeah. But now in that year's ground, it used to be called Ur Sports Complex.
Yes.
But as they discussed with the former president, he chipped in repairing that field. It's now known as Uhuru Kenyatta Sports Complex. Yeah. He has finished with the football. And the basketball he had done before, so now he's trying to finish in the netball. At least that's where we shall call our own.
And before we go to the break, I think it's also good news because tena you cannot grow kama huna boma yako. Hii unasema hii ndio yetu umejishikia. Because what I'm getting from Lilian ni bado siblings wanavutana wa handball, netball na basketball, wanang'ang'ania kujua utacheza saa ngapi ama wewe saa kuna mvutano.
That one, the one they use that ground for Kenya Post and Telecom. Ngong.
Yes.
We have been told, we have been given, they are preparing a field for us there. So now that one will be
the second one.
That one now will be for the national. This one is for Muta
Club.
Pale
Jerusalem, pale Uhuru, ili ya mtaa. But at least for us, we are going to have netball again in conversations.
Yeah.
You have had it. Tuko na veteran, tuko na legend, Lilian Anupi. You cannot mention the sports world in Kenya bila kutaja jina Lilian Anupi. Her father, Reverend, late, what is sports personalities, but most importantly is we are having a netball conversation and we are very optimistic that soon we are going to have netball again. Ila amesema nyota ya 1976 to 1999, that star needs to train again. Shortly for a commercial break, but when we come back, we talk about the fixtures, the federation, and the way forward. And most importantly, the growing girls in society. Wale wasichana wako sahi who would like to play netball. Where do they start and where do they go? Thank you.
Everywhere, GBS.
Naam, sadakta mtazamaji, ndo tunaenda awamu ya mwisho na ya kipindi hichi cha Sport Sugu. Kumbuka tunaangazia leo, tunamzungumzia anaitwa Lilian Anupe. Kama unamfahamu kudos kwako ama kongole kwako, manake ni legend, mmoja wapo wa wachezaji watajika ama wachezaji tajika katika ulingo wa netball ama mpira wa pete. Kwa hiyo kumbuka kuzungumza nasi. Kumbuka nilikuuliza swali hapo awali kwamba je, ni mchezaji ama ni mchezaji yupi ambaye unamfahamu katika ulingo huu wa netball? Unaweza tuambia kando na Anupe ni mchezaji yupi mwingine wa netball unamfahamu? Tuzungumzie katika arafa 21144. Tutafanya mambo yawe mambo. Kwa sasa awamu hii ya mwisho Kiarie, tutaangazia, kuna wengi ambao wafahamu mchezo huu. Je, huu mchezo unachukua muda upi? Manake hata katika mchezo wa soka kuna ile dakika 45 na pia kuna zile rules za uchezaji.
Hata tu ndio dada yetu hapa tuambie hata kwanza ni wangapi? Ni wangapi? Tuanze tu hapo, tuanze ni wangapi kwanza kabla tufike what are the rules?
Kwa really game tunataka tuwe wachezaji 7. Kila timu na 7 players, 7 players. But could train, you can have as many players as you have, as you want.
Okay.
So we play 7 players, and our field is 100 feet long and 50 feet length, width.
Okay.
So 100 by 50.
100 by 50. Divided into 3 thirds.
3 thirds.
Yeah, 3
100
thirds.
by 50 divided
by 3 thirds.
Okay.
And 1 third has a goalpost, another third has another goalpost. And then we have a center in the center third. That's where the center player starts the game.
Okay.
The game has to be started by the center player. So we have 7 positions. We start with the goal shooter, goal attack, wing attack, center, wing defender, goal defender, and goalkeeper.
Wow.
7 50 by 100.
Okay.
So we play 15 minutes of 4 quarters.
Of 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Okay. Each.
Yeah. The first quarter we break for 8 minutes.
8 minutes.
The first quarter we break for 4 minutes. Then half time we have either 10 or 8. The organizers of that championship will decide at half time we shall go for break for 8 minutes or we shall go for 10 minutes, depending to the duration.
Okay.
If you have enough time, the players can break for 10 minutes. If you don't have enough time, the players will break for 8 minutes. Yeah.
Wow. And substitutes?
Yeah. Before is when we used to have a problem with a substitute. You used to substitute a player when the player is injured or ill and so on. But these days we just substitute the 5 players. You can take out 5 and bring in 5. So
rolling. So hakuna rolling. So it's a rolling sub. Hakuna
rolling. It's a rolling, but you have to ask for timeout. You don't just roll in. You ask for timeout. The umpire has to call out for the players timeout, and then the one going out goes out. The one coming in comes in. And during that time, the other team, if they want to change players, they can change.
Wow.
Okay. Kwa hiyo referee ni mmoja ama
tunakuwa na 3 referees, 2 on court and 1 reserve referee on the bench. Yeah.
Okay.
Kwa hiyo kwa hizo rules za mchezo wakati wachezaji wanacheza, unajua katika netball ile nyingine ya basketball ukiguza na mguu hiyo ni foul, mambo kama hayo. Sasa kwa suku netball sasa
mpira wa pete ukikick the ball foul is a foul. But if the ball is thrown and hits your feet, that's not a foul, because the ball has just been thrown and hit your feet.
Your feet.
That's not foul.
Okay.
Unless you are legs were up, it will be you have kicked the ball. Then there's offside.
Offside.
When you go the area of you are not supposed to play. We have areas where we are not supposed to play. So, like the center player can play everywhere apart from the goal circles.
The goal circles.
Yeah.
Or the goal circles.
And then the goal shooter will play up to this line, cannot cross this line. Goal and the goalkeeper. Then goal attack and goal defender can play up to this end here, not cross here. And then vice versa. Yeah.
If you commit a foul in that,
if you go in that area, you are not supposed to play. That's offside.
Offside.
Yeah.
So offside the penalty a football.
It will be a free pass. No. Ours is a free pass.
Free pass.
So just give a free pass.
So the opponent now gets the possession.
The one who is supposed to play in that area takes a free pass.
Okay.
And then when the ball goes out, we don't blow the whistle because we have seen the ball has gone out. We just say throw in, Kiari, throw in, Kadeli.
Okay. Wow. So it is.
And then we don't have to contact each other or pushing each other.
Alafu kuna
holding somebody like this.
It's a non-contact. It's a non-contact sport.
Kabisa. Although these days they have brought in this contest. We can just feel each other when we are struggling for space. But when the ball is thrown and I stretch my hand like this, it hits you. That's contact. I've stretched my hand. That's contact. And then when you get the ball, as I was marking you, I have to give you a meter before I raise my hands up.
Okay.
So that I give you space, 1 meter. You do what you want to do. If you want to pivot, if you want to shoot, if you want to pass the ball within that meter.
Oh, wow.
Kuna Kiari, kuna ni handball ama ni basketball. Ukikimbia maybe 3 steps, hiyo ni foul. Ama referee anakuuliza
hata handball, hata chukball inakuanga 3 steps, then you must pass. Inakuanga
hata yetu tuko na 1 2 3. 1 2 then it pass.
1 2
and then you pass.
So it must be 1.
But again, if you get the ball and walk with the ball, you will be penalized. You have what we call landing foot. That foot that steps on the ground first. Don't remove it before you release the ball. If you lift it up, then don't reground before you release the ball.
Wow. It looks like it's a high energy because we say 15 minutes.
Yeah, we play 15 minutes. We rest for 4 minutes.
Then another 15
we go
minutes.
Play 15 minutes.
Then
we rest for 8 or 10. Then we go for another
15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then the final 15 minutes. So it's actually a high energy. Like ni very high octane.
Tuseme opponents wametoshana nguvu, wamefungana labda mabao 50-50. Kuna muda wa maongezeko ama kuna mapenalty inapigwa ama
okay, when we are playing the preliminary or the league, if we draw, we share points 1-1.
If you draw.
But when we are on the knockouts, let's say we have quarters, semis and finals, where we want a winner, we play extra 7.5 minutes. 7.5 minutes.
7.5.
So these 7.5 minutes, when we still draw, we shall play until one team has 2 goals ahead of the other. Then the scorer will say time. You tell the timekeeper, say it's time, because now Kiaria is ahead of you with 2 goals.
Wow. And just from experience, coach, ushakuwa that kind of experience where a game has gone and extended, mnamaliza hiyo number point times, mnaenda hiyo 7.5. Sasa zinaendelea. Has it happened?
Yeah.
Has it happened?
It has happened.
Mlienda dakika kama ngapi?
Sasa hiyo tunanga at timing.
Hiyo ni mpaka
tu timu moja iwe na 2 goals ahead of the other.
Hata mwingine akiongoza na goli moja bado
mpaka tuendelee mpaka timu moja iwe na 2 goals above the other one.
Hapo
sasa najua tukimalizia, najua baadaye tutauliza coach Lilian na Lupi ni wapi tunaweza wapata katika mazoezi yao ama katika when they train ama just to ask currently Do you have active clubs playing netball? Sahi.
Yeah, we have active clubs. We have like prisons. They train at Ruiru Training College. We have Ulinzi, Swords. They change venues. There are times playing at DOD. The times come to Isili Airport. The times go to Kahawa. They change.
Okay.
They don't just train at one place. Then we have Kenyatta National Hospital. They play next to the mortuary, but they are repairing that field. Then we have these other teams that have no field. They either ask for training at City Stadium or Nyayo or Nairobi University.
So currently, is there like a league ongoing?
There's a national league. There's a national league, but of late, they don't have many teams.
Okay. Okay.
So
in fact, they will be playing playoffs on the 10th and 11th at Nyayo. I don't know the venue, but last time we played at Nyayo. Yeah, but we don't have many teams. We have this Super 2, Division 1 and schools. We have many teams, but the Super 1 teams.
Super 1 is the equivalent of Premier League. I mean, top flight. Top flight. Now, because I know Ekadeli will ask me tukitoka hapa. Because you penda kutembea weekend sana. Is there like an upcoming tournament or upcoming event?
Yeah, there is one that is the last one in the year is usually the playoffs during the Jamhuri, but I think it will be 10th or 11th. That should be the last one. Nairobi, we had the last one last weekend.
Okay.
Nairobi Sports House.
Okay.
Yeah, we had it at City Stadium.
Na tutoke county kidogo. Because for Nairobi, yes, we have seen Ulinzi, in other counties, is netball as active in other counties?
Netball is active in Homa Bay
County.
Mombasa, not very much in Bungoma.
And Nairobi sasa.
So apart from Nairobi, there is Homa Bay County, Mombasa County, and Bungoma County. Those are the three where at least netball, it's,
even Kisumu.
Kisumu.
Okay. Alafu umesema kwamba kuna ligi Super League. Ni timu ngapi zinahitaji?
Nimekwambia sitaki kudanganyana. This time we don't have many teams. Yeah, we have prisons, Ulinzi, and the Vihiga.
Kenya National Hospital. Vihiga pia wapo.
Vihiga is also part of it.
Vihiga netball team.
Na kuna mikakati ambayo imewekwa labda kuhakikisha kwamba kuna timu ambazo zina.
Actually what happened was Corona. Everybody is saying we can't sponsor, our team can't participate now because of Corona, financial constraint. We have no finances to sponsor teams. So we don't have many teams actually that can participate internationally or nationally. But with these universities, we have teams. Like in Nairobi, we have so many teams. Universities, secondary schools also. Like let me talk about Nairobi. The same headmasters and mistresses say there are no finances, but they play their game.
Okay.
So their games they started this year after Kikoso. They started. I mean, after Corona.
After the
Corona period, they started playing their school games.
Okay.
So I'm sure next year
they're going to
and even we have primary schools. They have their games, they have their competitions. And even primary schools play men, boys, but it's only secondary schools who have refused to play netball, boys. Colleges we have, universities we have, institutions we have,
for boys. But now, and this is where I think the big question for today will come. You know, out there are girls and their parents and guardians who would wish for their girls to have an opportunity in netball. Either because most of them were former players or they have an interest in netball.
Yeah.
And the truth is, netball haisikiki.
Yeah, haisikiki.
Kutosikika.
Kutosikika.
Yeah.
First and foremost, I blame the media houses.
Yes.
I think the media houses, because of these other big sports like football, athletics, or volleyball, they have sponsors. So maybe they sponsor you people to go and cover. But for us, we don't have funds. So we don't sponsor you. You don't come. Even when we invite you, you maybe come on Sunday late. You don't even cover the whole thing. And then something will just be showing on the line there, netball was played, blah, blah, blah. And in a newspaper, it will just be something tiny, even somebody will not know netball was played.
So,
but during wakina Ezekiel Pukuru, wakina Fini, wakina Musonye, wakina Oscar Pilipili, they used to support us. That's why we used to be known. And we used to play just to our names to appear. Or our photos to appear in the magazine and so on.
Nzuri sana. Kwa hiyo
I mean, let me tell you, even the old footballers were not being given money like now. Even by even goal, even Harambee Stars. They used to play just to, the pass came from so and so and so scored. We had the passion.
Wow.
Not like today.
It was more about the passion.
Today's children are after money. Even let me tell you, me, I'm one who has been, the girls have been coming through me and supply to teams, Then they ask, oh, Minister of Works, Moiki, how much do they pay players? Oh, Kenyatta, how much do they give players? Prisons and so on. See, they don't have passion.
So for them, it's more money.
More money. They just want where money is. Even there's one who called me yesterday and said, are we having this Jamhuri tournament? Yes. And I said, can you look for me a team which is paying well? I want to get allowance for Christmas. You see?
Now, so that Akadeli knows, because as you say, we're in the month of December, this is the 3rd of December. Now, just for you to know, my mom was a netballer. When Madam Lilian Anupi was the Secretary General, she played for KCB and they were planning the Uganda tournament in the 1994 thereabouts. And just for you to also know, for them it was so passion driven that KCB wanted to go and win. So it was so competitive that they had to look for other people from outside the bank to come,
good players,
to come in. Now that is to show you that is how deep it was. My mom, her name is Grace Mwangi, rafiki ya Madam Lilian Anupi. Pia nimeona pia mvimeweza kuota pamoja. But what is your one advice, Lilian Anupi, for that growing girl in the village? Kule kwetu Kangema ama Baragoi.
My advice is, for us in various county federations, we are supposed to go out and scout for these players or these girls, go to their schools, or those who have no schools, we scout for them and come up with the academies if we can. The other thing is, I appeal to the Minister of Sports to come up with funds to support federations, to scout out for these boys and girls, so that they don't sit idle, do drugs, prostitution and so on, give birth at all age. If we had some fund kept aside and given to the federations to scout those girls and boys, so that we keep them busy, we can have academy, not only during holidays, because there are those who don't go to school, like these chokoras, because there is a country that has scouted for these chokoras, and they are playing all sports. Then they have come up with very good athletes from the street boys and girls. But we don't have funds. Even right now, me, I have a team.
Right now?
Yeah, I have a team. Team ya mtaa.
Wapi uko?
They want to play. I can't sponsor them to come for training every day.
Wapi?
Hapa.
Wapi?
Hapa Uhuru.
Uhuru. Hii, wacha tuangalie kamera. My friend Honorable Sakaja, governor wetu hapa Nairobi. December you have the festivals.
Kuna hizi festivals.
Kuna festivals that are coming. So far nimesikia football, tulikuwa na kina Kawata juzi, tukasikia boxing, there is something happening for that week. Netball. Our own veteran, our own legend, amesema kwa mdomo yake hapa. Netball to be included in the festivities za hii December to give the girls an opportunity. Sauti imemfikia.
Wasiachwe.
Thank you, because to add to what he has said, you talked to us and you used to send Sunguti to talk to us, sportsmen and women. And we gave you our vote. Now give us support.
Now.
Yes.
Sauti ya veteran imefika. Sauti ya veteran. And wow, it's been such a good day because one, netball, it's the first time, nasifikiri there is any other media house that has given netball coverage and an opportunity for such a great voice in netball like Lilian Anupi to have this moment. Tunakushukuru sana, you viewer, for just being with us, for taking time, and we bless you richly. My take home today, Ekadeli, is one, netball, just like any other sport in Kenya, needs to be given an equal opportunity and equal platform. Madam Lilian Anupi, facing the camera, wanaweza kutoa wapi? And where can people get you?
Thank you. I'm found at Kariobangi South. I coach so many teams which have no specific grounds. My phone is +254 720 451 441. And appreciate GBS for inviting us as we wait for our elections next year. The election was due this year, but it was postponed for reasons well known to the federation officials. So we're waiting for the elections next year for new office.
Last question. Are you vying next year?
We are waiting to hear what they say first, because we had prepared this year and it didn't take place. So we can start talking and then it doesn't take place. So when time comes, we shall talk.
Tutakupatia kura.
Kiarie, una la ziada tukitoka?
La ziada kwangu ni to the young girl pale mtaani, to the growing girl, and to the parents and guardian. Netball, just like any other sport, needs equal opportunity, needs equal funding. And to my friend, the CS, the CS was here at GBS 1.5 months ago. Tafadhali, give us an appointment with the veteran Lilian Anupi to come see you in your office.
And to appeal to him, as he has started this journey to support the older girls, let him support them fully without taking sides. They all served the country. They all put on the flag of Kenya. So let them be supported, all of them. And those who are the deceased, we know their families. We can reach them to be supported also. Thank you very much.
Ndo hiyo mtazamaji, ndo hayo amezungumza. Ndo huyo mchezaji wa zamani wa kitambo wa mpira wa pete anaitwa Anupe Lilian. Kumbuka kwamba ametoa wito kama we ni mthamini ambaye uko pale, kuna timu za netball ambazo zinahitaji usaidizi tu, ndio talanta azizidi kuvumbuliwa. Na vile vile ametoa wito kwa serikali ishike mkono shirikisho la netball, ndio mambo isonge mbele. Kwa hiyo mimi sina la ziada, tutakomea hapo kwa sasa. Tutapatana tena wikendi ijayo papa hapa masaa kama haya, panapo majaliwa.